Hi guys, welcome to Asian Tech Guide here again. So today, we're going to look at some of these CPU coolers. If you guys are fans of Tech City, Bryan, you know what those are. Those are Snowman coolers, alright? So here I have the 90mm variation, and over here, the 120mm variation. So I'm going to test out both the single and dual fan configuration. I figured why not spend less money, buy the dual fan, then I can remove fans and test out single and dual fan configurations and see what works best. Of course, the height clearance is kind of different for the two, but we'll see in terms of raw performance, and we'll probably take a look at what kind of coolers, or rather which one you should get depending on your height clearance, or rather your case situation. And we're going to test it on our open test bench. So to keep things kind of standard, I'm using the AC right here. For the test bench, I won't be using thermal paste. It's called Innovative Cooling thermal pads. It's made of graphite and supposedly it's good in terms of cooling and conductivity. Thermal paste is probably better, but it's too much hassle, and I think it's more consistent to do it this way. Right, this is our open test bench. Over here we have an X370 Type G motherboard. So this is paired with a Ryzen 5 3600X, the stock cooler, 16 gigs of dual channel memory at 2400 MHz, and a 1070 Ti Mini from Zotac. Right, the rest doesn't really matter too much. We're just gonna benchmark what the coolers in like some CPU tests, and from there we see what kind of thermals and performance we'll be getting. So this is the Innovative Cooling thermal pad that's made of graphite that I'll be using, and this is pretty convenient to use. First up, 90mm Snowman CPU cooler. So the dual fan variation goes for about $14, and a single fan goes for about $12. Let's go with the single fan first. I'll show you how to install this, and it's gonna be the same for all the Snowman coolers, at least most of it, with this kind of like clamp style design. Yeah, right here. You just for AMD especially, you can just keep your default mounting brackets. But for Intel, they provide some kind of mounting bracket that can clip onto the bottom and attach this guy to it for clamp style kind of method. Application of thermal pad, just place at the top. It's as simple as that. Next, remember to peel off the plastic seal from the contact point with the CPU. Clamps on one of the hooks to the mounting bracket, and then we work on the other side. Just turn it around. Next, just align this guy with the mounting base. We kind of like hold it into place, just like so, and just push it down until it clicks. Right, that's it. It clicks. That's how it installs Snowman CPU cooler for the clamp style cooler design. Now we plug in our CPU fan header. And remove one fan to simulate a single fan CPU tower. Just like so. Just unhook it. How it unclaps the bra. Right. Right, so just take note guys, I won't be testing noise. Simply because I have extra fan hanging out there and I can't disconnect them, because the fans are attached with a 2-in-1 cable that's kind of fixed together. I can't remove it, so it's not fair to test thermals or rather noise right here. Now we put this guy up. Then I forgot to turn on the power. Here we go again. Okay guys, the fan wasn't working. I realized I plugged into the wrong port. I've since corrected it. It should be this port right here, not the one at outermost, and the one more towards the middle. Alright, so the temp is fluctuating at about 25.7 degrees Celsius, about 26 degrees Celsius right now. So that's what we're gonna keep under control, and we're gonna test within this temperature range. Our next test is using OCCT, the default CPU test. We're gonna leave this on for about 10 minutes and obtain the max temp for each particular fan. Now we'll clip on the other fan. Alright, we're in. Let's go for it. Alright, claps on. Here we go. And here we're gonna test the 90mm dual fan variation with an RGB, but if you want RGB you can always change the fans. And they have that RGB or ARGB variation as well. The single fan 90mm is having a max temp of about 84 degrees Celsius. All the results are virtually identical within a margin of error. And the twin fan, of course, obviously it's got the best. It's got about 82 degrees Celsius. It's only a 2 degrees Celsius, so I don't think there's much gains there. Things get a bit more interesting when we get to Cinebench R33 though. The single fan 90mm scored 8780, having a max temp of 84 degrees Celsius. So the twin fan 90mm scored about 7% more at 9394 and having a max temp of 83 degrees Celsius. Next we get onto the single fan 130mm. It's got 6.8% better than the single fan 90mm, a score of 9374. This is almost identical to the twin fan 90mm. And lastly, the twin fan 130mm scored 7.1% better than the first variation and having the best score of 9401, but there isn't much difference between the twin and the single fan variation. Basically, one is having some kind of push config, whereas the twin fan is having a push-pull config. So basically having two fans sandwiched around the heatsink, if you will. Easy way to compare how all these coolers stack against each other. We take the price and divide them by the score. There we have it. You can see which is the most bang for buck here. The smaller the number, the more bang for the buck. And based on the numbers itself, this guy, not this guy, but with one fan off, this offers the most value for money. Now, before I round things up, I just want to say that everything I tested here is using the innovative cooling graphite pad. While using thermal paste, you definitely get a much lower temp. And just for the purpose of testing, I use the graphite pad to be more consistent and to make it much more convenient for me. So generally for CPU coolers, some things to take note is the contact point is very important. It should be as flush as possible. We have seen that a lot from Game Nexus. With a bigger heatsink, it means that there's much more surface area for air to cool. It means that there's better heat transfer, and that will result in a better temp. And of course, with more fans, the more air you can pull through, the faster you can, transfer that heat away. And like I said, the numbers show that this guy in the one fan variation is the most bang for a buck. But however, in terms of raw performance and noise, definitely for $5 more, I'll go for this guy. You get a 7% uplift of performance compared to this guy in Cinebench R33 at least. And for thermals, with a bigger fan, actually you can move more air while using lesser speed. Well, that results in a lower noise level. However, it depends on your chassis and your individual components in your PC. You might not be able to use this guy, so it depends on your clearance that you have in your components, like I said. So yes, price to performance, this guy right here. I'll provide links to it. I'm not sponsored or affiliated by anyway. I'm just sharing this with you guys. My personal recommendation, this guy, the 130mm variation, single fan, double fan if you like the look of it, but performance wise there's not much difference, at least in my testing. Alright, all in all, I think like Snowman fans are good value for the money. I mean, these are the 6 Heatpipe variations. There's even like 4 and 5 Heatpipe variations, but the price differential isn't that much, so I'd rather go for the 6 Heatpipes help conduct and transfer heat away better. I really love these Snowman fans. If there's something you want to ask me, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you haven't, I'll appreciate if you like this video and subscribe if you didn't. Till next time.